earthquakes. Jesus said, Matthew 24 and verse number 7, earthquakes in divers places. And, a great earthquake is one of 8.0, and earthquakes of 9.0 are expected once every 20 years, and we've had 3 of them in the last decade, last 11 years. And Japan's earthquake, the 9.0, is 5,000 times more powerful than Haiti's 7.0 earthquake. Just because it only goes up by 1 does not correlate to how severe these earthquakes are. And Jesus said the end times will be earthquakes in divers places. And so there's a lot of scuttlebutt about whether or not there are more earthquakes now than ever. And Hal Lindsey had mentioned how, in fact, these statistics on these earthquakes are from Hal Lindsey, and he was saying how maybe not necessarily more earthquakes, but they will increase in intensity the closer we get to the time of the end. And God has used earthquakes to get man's attention. When Jesus died on the cross, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from top to bottom. And the earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And when the centurion and they that were with him watching Jesus saw the earthquake, and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly this was the Son of God. One of the men whose job was to stand there and watch Jesus Christ be crucified came to saving faith as he watched him be crucified. And then, when the resurrection, there was an earthquake, and the stone rolled away. God used an earthquake to get humanity's attention. And then, at Armageddon, there's another earthquake. In Revelation 16, verse 16, it says they gathered to the place of Armageddon. You know, Armageddon comes from the word Har-Megiddo, which is, Har is mountain. Megiddo is Megiddo. The mountain of Megiddo. You've heard of it. Mount Megiddo. There is the valley of Jezreel. Megiddo's over here. Jezreel's over there. Huge valley in the middle. Many, many major wars have occurred there. There's one more war yet to occur there. And that is when all nations are gathered there. As God brings them there. The Lord works that out. And when they're at Armageddon, it says there's voices and thunders and lightnings, a great earthquake, such as was not since men were upon the earth, so mighty an earthquake and so great. So what's that earthquake all about? That earthquake is Zechariah 14, verses 1 through 5, when Jesus Christ, the Bible says he will take his foot and step foot upon Mount of Olives. And when he steps his foot upon the Mount of Olives, there's this great earthquake right there with Armageddon. And King Jesus is going to do that. And so the thing is, we can look back to these previous earthquakes, and think about an earthquake as God is shaking the earth, saying, "Hey, I want to get your attention." And as we see, Jesus said one of the signs of the end times is earthquakes. And as you see earthquakes increase in intensity, we're near the end. And so you need to allow God to get your attention, that we are living in the end times. The idea is, if you're not saved, to be saved, be ready for the Lord. And if you are saved, don't get all caught up with this world. Listen, you look at what's going on, and you say, well, I can do that because everybody else is. God doesn't say everybody else is. And so we need to prepare for the end times. You realize with the rapture, we just don't know how long we have. You may live on your life. You may not. You may not. So you got to be ready. Be ready for such an hour as you think not. The Son of God comes.